Hey Rollerbladers, welcome back. If you've been following the channel for the last few weeks, you know that Mike McFly and I went on kind of a Florida, Georgia tour where we traveled around Florida to a lot of different iconic skate spots, had a great time. And for me, they were some of my larger hammers that I've done in quite a long time, you know, including like 35, a big 35 stair handrail in Atlanta and Georgia Tech Ledge and some other big handrails. And it was a huge amount of fun. And fortunately, I was able to largely come away unscathed and without injury, which to me was really cool and really kind of surprising, to be honest with you. Well, here I am like a week after I get home or less, and I skate with Sam Brownlee yesterday in Kerrville, Texas, which was a great time. But I think I may have broken my toe. So I'm gonna talk about what happened and why I think it was avoidable and what I think my mindset was going into it and how you can avoid it yourself. But before that, I wanna talk super quickly about my mentality, because a lot of people have asked me how to fall. Hey Ben, what's the best way to fall to help prevent injury? And you know, I still don't have a great answer for that, to be honest with you. I talked with Tree on one of the live streams recently, and we talked a little bit about it, but I think what he had to say, and I'll get back to the topic here in a second, but what he had to say, I think part of it was lowering your center of gravity, and part of that is being flexible. And I agree with that completely. So if you lower your center of gravity and you become more flexible, and you have an element of strength as well and a relative level of fitness, I think you're going to reduce the amount of injuries that you incur. But that aside, my mindset going into tricks largely is, I think, the same mindset that a lot of rollerbladers have, at least if you've been skating for some time, is that you immediately, almost instantly make it almost this risk assessment of a spot. You say, okay, what trick am I likely to do on this obstacle? Let's say it's a handrail. And what are some of the likely or even unlikely outcomes? And what are some of the consequences should they occur, right? And so you do all these calculations in your head almost instantly and say, you survey the area, right? There's a street pole to the right-hand side of the handrail. So if I land off to the right, I'm gonna hit that pole and could produce significant injury. And then you start doing calculations of, okay, well, what's the likelihood of these things that could happen? And what are some of the possible injuries that could happen if they were to occur? And then make sort of this risk adjustment, or not adjustment, but this risk sort of decision on, is it worth it? Because the two different people don't have the same risk tolerance when it comes to skating, right? You may work with your hands, and if you hurt your hands, now you can't work, and now you can't pay the bills, and now you're homeless.
We got no food, we got no jobs, our pets' heads are...
Whereas someone else, maybe they don't work with their hands and they have a different risk tolerance than you. So I think us as rollerbladers, we all make this kind of almost instant decision, but I don't think we talk about it very much, is surveying the severity of possible outcomes and their likelihood, and then doing what you can to say, okay, how am I going to react should one of these occur? And I think that's one of the most important things, is to at least be aware of the risks and then aware of what are my actions going to be if and when they happen. Okay, so fast forward back to yesterday where Sam and I went to Kerrville skate park, and we're skating. There's this wonderful long concrete knee-high ledge, and I was amped on it. And I wanted to soul grind around the whole ledge. But I knew that in order to do that, I'd have to go really, really fast to get all the way around the whole ledge, because that was the thing, right? You have a sense of pride. I did the whole ledge. I could have started a little bit later on the ledge, which I'll get to in a second, but it doesn't have that same completion pride factor. After doing my sort of immediate risk analysis, I could tell, and I was telling Sam, I'm like, man, I'm a little bit sketched out. Because if I don't lock on, because I'm coming up to this ledge and you have to come up really fast if you want to do the whole thing. But what that does is, if you don't lock on and your feet drop to the ground, it gives you zero time to react, and your feet smash into the lower ledge that you can see on screen, and you go flying, right? And so I knew that in my gut. I didn't really bring it to the forefront of my thought, right? But I knew that in the chance, which is not unlikely, that I miss the soul grind, that basically it's all over. I have no chance to react. There's almost nothing I can do to mitigate the circumstances that are about to occur. I'm just going along for the ride at that point. Sure enough, I tried a few times. I lock on, and get a couple good souls in, and then there you go. I think it was the fourth try. feet dropped down, my feet smashed right into the ledge, as I predicted would happen if I missed the sole grind, and I go flying over the other side of the ledge. Well, the colts that I skate are already like pretty small. They fit well, but there's not much room when you go to stub your toe, because I've stubbed my toes in the skates a couple times and it's not fun, but it's not terrible. But with this, I'm going really fast. You can't see, but I'm like out of frame skating from across the skate park, trying to like build up speeds to really get this. Yeah, so it was a bad decision. So why did I do it? I think it's the same reason any of us knowingly make poor decisions, is you know, maybe your pride gets in the way, maybe whatever it is you're looking for. And when I look back, I have to ask myself, okay, is that one trick really worth it? Because now if my toe is in fact broken, which it may be, honestly, now I can't skate for however many weeks. I can't go out and skate. I can't create videos of at least me skating. I can go film my friends, which is cool. But, you know, reflecting back, I have to ask myself, is that one trick totally worth it? Would that trick have changed anything, you know? And I have to say no. What I could have done is mitigated some risk factors, and like I said earlier, jumped on the high ledge at the beginning of the low ledge, if that makes sense, so that even if I didn't lock on, there would be no possibility of my feet slamming into that low ledge, because I'd already be flying past it, if that makes sense. But in that case, I didn't do the whole ledge, so the pride factor isn't there. The sense of accomplishment, I didn't do the whole ledge. So this is just something I wanted to put out there and just kind of really think about the longer term implications. Is, you know, I've made videos like this before where I've made bad decisions and I've gotten hurt for them and I've paid for them, and I had just gotten over a bunch of injuries from a couple months ago. So it's a little bit of a bummer to have this injury today, but you know, you gotta live with the decisions that you make. So I hope you make better decisions than I do sometimes, but yeah, this is it. I hope you get out and skate, have some fun, and don't get hurt, or try not to. But I do wanna leave you with this. I think that this sport, right? The reason, Mike and I just went to Kona Skate Park, and there, all over the skateboards, there was this like almost paragraph that, I can't remember exactly how it went, but it was basically the gist of it was that this sport is dangerous and this sport has inherent risk, and that's why I like to do it. Obviously, there's different aspects of rollerblading that I love, right? Like making new friends, traveling around, buying new skates, testing new equipment. But at the end of the day, like what I think draws a lot of us to the sport is the inherent risk, the inherent kind of fun that comes along with at least some level of risk. But I'm not gonna make this too philosophical. That it is what it is. I hope you did like the video. Right? Get out and skate, have some fun. Give the video a thumbs up if you did like it, and consider subscribing to the channel if you like the content, and we'll see you next time. Rollerbooters, take care. Which one of these videos looks more interesting to you? This one or this one? Click one to support the channel and to support rollerblading, and I'll see you there.